What happens when you put in years of work and preparation to land that dream job, but then when you finally get it, the dream turns out to be a nightmare? WSJ columnist Sue Shellenbarger and career coach Ashley Stahl are here to help. Hi, Sue. I'm going to start with you. How often does this happen? Do people glorify certain professions, perhaps because they watched a certain TV show growing up?
There's a trend toward placing more meaning on your job, and it's been drummed into job seekers that you should find passion, find meaning in your work, pursue your dream. And also TV is glamorizing more occupations such as national defense and security. I think we're seeing more of this where people place all their eggs in one basket and prepare for a dream job. If it turns out to be less than they expected, it can be a huge disappointment and quite depressing.
And speaking of national security, Ashley, tell us a little bit about your experience. You got the degrees, even learned Arabic to land your dream job. So what happened?
Well, when I got there, I felt really lucky and excited to be there. I was filling the shoes of someone who was much older than I was when I accepted the position to run a program for the Pentagon. But what I found was that the work that I was doing wasn't truly aligned with who I was. First of all, I had an aversion to being around weapons that I didn't completely expect. And second of all, I didn't really think about what it would be like to travel the world in war-torn regions and quite literally be someone else as I was doing it.
And so what did you learn about yourself in the process, and how did you make that switch?
Well, there are three battles that I really experienced in my work. The first was just going through the quarter-life crisis and realizing that what I was doing wasn't truly aligned with my highest good in the workforce. And so going through that, I realized the least powerful thing that millennials can do in this situation is they give their power away by staying in limbo. And so what I did was I realized that clarity comes from engagement, not thought. And so I started networking aggressively to learn more about what people were doing in the workforce. There are so many jobs out there that we don't realize are there. And it was really a point of discovery for me. And what was really fulfilling was working with a career coach, and only within weeks of working with this person, realizing that they were living my calling in the world. And the only reason I could have done that was because I was out networking and willing to ask for help.
Sue, does Ashley's situation sound familiar to you? Do you hear a lot of the same complaints that she had from young people in their supposed dream jobs?
Absolutely. I think this young generation of job seekers faces pressure not only to find meaning in their work, but to find a job really fast. It's very common. Ashley's solution was a really savvy one: to do a rigorous self-assessment, figure out what you really want in a job, not only in terms of the role, but the circumstances, the environment, the surroundings, the coworkers, and really hold every potential job up against that list before you go ahead and accept one.
And you say stay in that job at least a year, though, before cutting ties altogether, right? You don't want to look like a complete flake.
In some fields, it's okay to move quickly if you know you can find a new job. In high tech, for example, it's not uncommon to move within a few weeks, but mostly it's better to stay 12 to 18 months and to use that job as a vantage point to look around, network, gain new skills, or finish projects that can be assets on your resume.
All right, Sue and Ashley, thank you so much for all that.